Oh man. Oh God. Do I have to answer both of them?
No. You can pick whichever one you want to answer, and you can answer them in one word if you like. You can even go deep into the microphone on this one, because maybe it will have some inherent epic impact to the answer based on its...
It's just ASMR stuff. Hi, how's it going? Oh, honestly, mate, this has stumped me. I don't know if I can give a decent answer without thinking about it. And that might...
I can give you an example with me.
I overthink these things, see, and I'm just like, now I'd be worried about giving the wrong answer either way, so...
Would it'd be bookended in the same way? Because mine was Shuffle. Shuffle taking a chance and letting me talk to him was the most important moment in my YouTube career, because it gave me, I now know what I should do. There's a million things I can do, and there's a million things I want to do.
Yeah.
But this is something I should do, because I'm not only hopefully okay at it, the people I talk to like it, and the people that watch it like it. And it has all of the kind of... It ticks all the boxes. It satisfies me.
Yeah.
Is it do I want to be famous for something else, like, having the world's most agile penis? Maybe. But that's for another day, when cybernetics and, human cloning catch up to my desires and wants. Until then, I make do with being a YouTube interviewer. Is there a seminal moment for you where you're like, finally?
I guess an obvious answer, but I'll give the obvious answer anyway, might be just from battle rap sake, is just my tryout, really. I guess it would be like the third round tryout, on my tryout, which I did against Josh Fox, where I just started doing a bit of a concept round about Peterborough, where he was from. So that was probably like quite because I guess it kind of established a certain style that I would sort of go on to try and do, but probably not as well. But it was but yeah, I think that was like definitely like a moment for sure. In terms of person, I guess from a creative point of view, I'd say Shuffle, just purely because like that's it's actually always been a toss up between my wife and my other wife, Shuffle. So it's like it's like a sort of joint answer. My wife herself is just absolutely amazing person that I couldn't genuinely do any creative outlets without, because she kind of gives me confidence, and she actually is my rock, and as I've mentioned before, like provides stability, that added stability for our family, and but then like on the creative side, you've got this Keanu Reeves looking motherfucker that I teamed up with since we met in a film class ourselves, actually, at sixth form. Tried to make a little film together. This is one of the things of like perfection we were talking about before, but I've never released that film. Still got the footage. I shot it on it was one of the old mini DV camcorders, but I bought a lens adapter for 35mm photographic lenses, so that it made it look really sick. But what it also did was it flipped the image, it inverted it overwards because of the optics in the thing. So I had to like shoot this entire film. It was kind of one of these post-apocalyptic, like kids out in the woods making a film type thing. And Adam played the main character in it, and he's like, it's this idea is that the apocalypse has happened and he's living out there on his own. Anyway, like I'm shooting most of this like with because it extended the camera like that long. The actual camera itself was about that big as a little mini DV camcorder we shot onto tape, and then this fucking lens thing like just extended it this far, so I would just be able to, but because it inverted the image on the viewfinder on the display monitor, and we were shooting this for absolutely no budget. That was just the camcorder had, and I just put this on my shoulder. I had to rest it on my shoulder and like shoot facing away from the action, and like trying to look for the image the right way up, and trying to like sort of balance it round. And anyway, that was mine and Adam's Shuffle T's first, creative endeavor together. And that was around the time we just started driving around. When we were driving to locations to shoot something, it was myself and a couple of other, friends. One other friend in particular, Jack, who we wrote it, together and wrote. Anyway, so we were driving around. Like Adam and I would just go and do like little shoots ourselves, like occasionally, but we weren't really mates at the time. But then I think the thing that solidified our friendship was just that one day we had like Radio 1 on or something in the car, and he just turns it down slightly, and he goes, "Right, we can still hear the beat. Just freestyle, man. Let's freestyle." And then we just started freestyling this absolute dog shit. But it was really, it just was the moment where we were just like starting to freestyle and starting to have fun with rap. And then we obviously got onto Don't Flop from there and sort of carried on. Yeah, man. But like, so to come back to your question as well. I think it would be that, man. I mean, the two of us have, we've built something. We're really grateful to all of the fans and the leagues, that have like kind of had us on, and it's just still now it's just so much fun. We're writing for this next battle now, and it's still just as fun. We had a moment the other day, it was actually yesterday. We were writing for A Ward and Loso, and we had one bar where it's like I started writing something, he kind of jumped in with, you could say this, maybe have that, and then just like the two, like there was just enough balance between the two of us bringing our ideas together, and then all of a sudden we are just high-fiving each other out of like sheer elation of like having clocked like how we could word this punchline. And yeah, I think that's quite unique. I don't know if many people have that kind of are lucky enough to have that kind of creative relationship with another person. So yeah, man, like he's very, very, very special to me. Not to get too deep and mushy here, but anyway, fuck him, cut all of this bit, so fuck it.
I was going to say, it that's beautiful, but it also makes the inevitable heel turn by one of you on the other all the more devastating, because it's a storytelling 101. It's sooner or later the best friends have to part ways and one turns on the other, only for the other one to help bring him back at the end, as he's dying in the other one's arms. It's like, I never meant it all along. There you go. Now you can ascend, and it's happy endings for all, except for the one that dies.
Yeah, totally. What was his answer to that question? Did you ask him that?
His biggest himself.
Was it himself?
It was himself. Yeah.
Did he say that?
I don't remember.
Did you actually stitch him up with that question, or have I been stitched up with that question?
Right. In my defense, and to people at home, that was my first ever one, and I did it by this. Right. I read his book 3 times. I listened to his album 5 times. I rewatched all of it.
What, you read a list of words 3 times?
Yep. I needed to, because if he'd referenced a page in the book, what am I supposed to do when I go, yeah, totally? Like, I have to. It's
totally. Got a reference, that exact page.
Full disclosure, I watched your film a couple of times, and that's where the notes that I said, I may have sent him extensive notes on the film itself to not only illustrate the fact that I'd seen it, but that I'd noticed everything, because I'm a good boy. Anyway, I could talk to you for literally hours about filmmaking in the wider social context, but you've been already incredibly generous in your time, so it's only fair I give something back to you, which is to say, is there anything you want people to be aware of that you've got coming up, or anything that you're particularly excited about that you're working on that you want people to be aware of when it invariably drops? Oh,
well, we got we're defending our 2-on-2 UK Battle Rap title for the first time in 7 years. Is that? I don't know, it might be longer. In November against 2 Americans called A Ward and Loso, who obviously battle rap fans will be very familiar with. Definitely our most challenging battle to date, I'd say. I think that's pretty fair to say. They're very good as a team. So that's coming up. That's the Don't Flop 15th birthday, which would be wicked. What else? Oh yeah, on Premier Battles got the Quill. I think the Quill battle, Quill versus Marlo, is available on their Patreon, so that's worth going to and seeing. My professional website is theomarlow.com. Easy, really easy to remember. Marlo is with a W. What else is happening? Yeah, so right now we're actually in an investment round for the documentary that I'm working on about Joe Meek, who was a producer from the 1960s. Incredible story, multifaceted story, just has so many elements to it. It's music, it's a murder mystery, it's a crime drama, it's got occult, elements to it. It's like it's just a mental story about the guy who gave artists like David Bowie, Mark Bolan, Tom Jones their starts in many ways, and did it in an era when music producers just weren't operating from their own homes. They were like lab coat wearing technicians, and would really turn their nose up to anyone who would attempt to do something. So he was really considered like a maverick because he operated above a leather handbag shop on the Holloway Road in London. And it's just an absolutely fascinating story where but also the documentary will have elements contemporarily speaking, because we have full access to over like thousands and thousands of reels of music that was previously unreleased and kept in tea chests for the best part of 60 years. We now have full access to that via the record label that owns it. And and we're going to be working with contemporary artists. Aphex Twin, I know, is on board. Like, we've got a few others that are going to be basically remixing, producing, from using some of this old music as either backing tracks or kind of samples. Very, very. This isn't a very succinct way of putting any of this, but anyway, we're about to go through an investment round on it, and I would really encourage, if anybody knows people who are interested in film investment specifically, who are potentially serial or hobbyist investors, or professional investors, or just anyone who has money and finances, to go to gingerandpickles.productions, and then all the information is there.